Tired of being alone and have no one to love? Want to have a glow up and people compliment you on how great you look? Or just wanting to improve yourself for your own mental health so that you're not aimlessly wandering from day to day, spending the majority of your time on social media, hoping to come across something that makes you feel any kind of emotion? Well, you came to the right place, because today I'm going to talk about my lifestyle changes. 1 year ago, I looked a little different. The amazing thing about being a content creator is you guys can see exactly what I looked like a year ago. You can even see the video that got me to this part of my life, being the last airbender. I can only talk about my experiences. I'm not some health guru or fitness guy who's gonna teach you how to do intermediate fasting or how to count your macros or say I went through a life-changing journey. If you guys have seen my content, I'm really just a guy who plays games on the internet. I think a lot of people think there's this one trick, one thing that you can do to make your life better. I don't know about all that. What made me want to put more effort into fashion, some skincare, some health, some hair, some exercise, some diet, is when Among Us was blowing up like 1 year ago. I was having a good time. I was known as the Among Us guy, and I know I wasn't the first streamer to ever stream it, but I would like to think I am the person who popularized it on YouTube. It was essentially like what Fortnite was for Ninja, a game that was super popular, and I was one of the top content creators for it, and I was very lucky. I feel very blessed to have friends that were great to play with, and it was just the right place at the right time. Because with Hairstyle and TFT, I was the best when it comes to entertainment, and I don't think that is even in dispute. Unfortunately, those two games aren't like insanely popular. They had a following, but it wasn't like Among Us, right? It took a lot of pride in being known as the Among Us guy. And because of that, I was invited to a lot of Among Us lobbies. Not all of them, and that was totally fine because I made my own lobby. So when other people are hosting the lobbies and I don't get invited, it's like, it's really no big deal because I play enough Among Us already. Like I got to play and meet so many cool people, like Jack, one of my favorite people that I met through Among Us, Corpse. I played with PewDiePie, met AOC, Lil Nas. So a lot of cool things happened because of my place in Among Us. I was fortunate to be in a lot. I'm very thankful for that. Until the Jimmy Fallon Among Us lobby happened. And it seemed like such a weird thing to be like sad over. I already got so much out of it. It sounds like I'm entitled or feel like I deserved more, but it did make me feel sad. 3 of my friends got invited. All 3 deserved 100% to be invited. I talked about it with like my friends. It's like, am I like just being butthurt or salty? And a lot of them were very understanding. It's like, well, that makes sense. You will feel that way because you're known as the Among Us guy. You make the YouTube videos, you put together the lobbies, you invite the people, you put time and effort into making sure each lobby goes really smoothly. You're the technical help. Like when Bretman was trying to stream Among Us for the first time, it was me in there helping him, not Twitch, not Among Us, it was me. Because I just like helping people. The more the merrier. So when the Jimmy Fallon thing happened, I know it was nothing personal, it was just business. But I just wondered, why did I get passed over that day? Never really found out. I'm sure there are like many reasons they can say. It's like, oh, well, we only had 3 spots. Oh, you're on Facebook. And it really shouldn't have bothered me that much because it wasn't like an amazing lobby. It was filled with people who didn't play the game and they were just trying to play like, what's this cool thing the kids are doing these days that we can do to make our show more popular? Among Us. Among Us? Kind of sus. It wasn't like playing with Obama, but it was a very cool opportunity to be on TV kind of deal. Like I've met talk show hosts, like I've met Conan O'Brien, I hugged him. Conan O'Brien, by the way, my favorite talk show host. And no, I really doubt Jimmy Fallon himself was the one who made that decision. Most likely a community manager from Among Us or from Jimmy Fallon's team. It's not Jimmy Fallon himself. So that happened. I just kept thinking like, why was I passed over? And one thing I thought about, maybe I just don't have that mainstream appeal. When I look at Ray, who's funny and very animated, you know, beautiful woman. Corpse has music, cool personality, deep voice. Saikuno, uwu, anime, nice voice, cute boy. And I was busy trying to defend against the Fire Nation. So I thought maybe it's just the way I look, or maybe because my appeal isn't recognized in mainstream media. Because my appeal has always been sarcasm, dry humor, and like strategy games. A lot of these qualities you don't get to see within the first day of watching my content. You probably don't even get to see it within the first week. It's definitely more of a month-long journey to like, oh, this is kind of his humor and this is kind of his personality, right? You wouldn't know I'm like the high IQ guy unless you watched an entire game of Among Us. Like if you come across my tweets, it's all very dry and sarcastic, and it comes off as rude for people who don't know me. Even recently I tweeted at Ludwig question mark because we were bantering in Twitter DMs. There was like an audience that thought I was flaming him or trying to call him out, like replying in the comments like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Ludwig paid for the Universal trip and you're like out here flaming him? And it was like the weirdest thing, because the point of that tweet was to showcase Ludwig being both funny and generous. He paid for a lot of the stuff on the Universal trip, and I want people to know Ludwig's a cool fucking guy. He's a rare person, and it's a very small minority, but it kind of just showcased like me at face value doesn't showcase my best qualities, and I do have good qualities. I'm not low confidence. I know chat's trying to be like super positive, and I appreciate that. I love you, chat, but I'm very confident in my qualities. I just started thinking like the problem is more that my qualities are not immediately obvious. But that's what people care about when it comes to traditional media. So I thought, well, I'm not going to change my personality because I like my personality a lot. So what can I change? I can change how much effort I put into my physical appearance. I'm not getting plastic surgery. I'm not getting liposuction. I just made changes to my lifestyle to try and be healthy. And I think that's what I would tell everyone to do. I know New Year's is coming up, 2022, 2 years after quarantine. A lot of people are going to be like, this is it. I'm going to change things around. I'm going to hit the gym. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to the gym every day. I'm going to stream every day. I'm going to work out every day. I think that's very hard to do when you set these big goals. And that's what I actively avoided. So what changes did I make to have a glow up? First things first, most obvious one is weight. Now, I wouldn't say I was an overweight gentleman 1 year ago before people on social media come at me for equating weight to attractiveness. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm doing that, but society has taught us to value that being normal weight is more traditionally on the attractive scale compared to overweight. I'm being very careful with my words because people like saying, hey, you hate fat people, don't you? That's fat phobic, you son of a bitch, and I'm gonna cancel you. I don't make the rules, but when it comes to traditional media, there's a correlation between attractiveness and weight. That's just the truth. Should that be the way things should be? I don't know. All I'm gonna do is talk about how I lost weight and why I lost weight. So 1 year ago compared to now, it's a difference of 30 pounds. So I dropped 30 pounds in the span of 10 months, which I would actually say isn't like a drastic amount. A healthy weight loss pace is 4 pounds a month, so 1 pound a week. That's considered like a little aggressive, but within reason. So 10 months is actually 40 weeks and I lost 30 pounds. I wouldn't say I look overweight in these pictures. If you look at these pictures as it is 1 year ago, you would just say, oh, that's just Toast. He looks like a normal Asian dude and he's bald. But this is what I look like now, 30 pounds lighter. I wouldn't say there's a drastic shift. It's not immediately obvious. It's like the subtleties, which I think is the big difference. My cheeks definitely smaller. I notice it because it's almost smooth, like a straight line, whereas in the past it kind of puffs out a little bit. And here, which is mainly the jawline being more visible, which makes a lot of sense because with 30 pounds less fat, you keep less around the jaw. And there's other like small things throughout your body. And how I lost weight is I did this thing where I set goals. Instead of starting on New Year's, I challenge you guys to think about a date that's coming up, ideally like a few months from now. Maybe you have a wedding. Maybe you're getting married. Maybe you're starting university, new year of high school, starting a new job, traveling to a new country. There's gotta be something. So I don't like thinking about the date I start. I like thinking about the date I'm gonna end. Example, you graduated from high school, you're going to college in 5 months. The goal would be to show up to college fit. Maybe dropped a few pounds if that's what you want, or maybe packed on some muscle if that's what you want. And you just kind of hyper focus on that date. Because when you start, say 2022, yeah, I'm gonna work out every day. It's like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to do this for 1 year. Why? This is so hard. I have to eat broccoli and chicken. What's the goal? But if you have a goal in mind that you're working towards and there's like a deadline, it's much easier. Well, you got 60 days to get fit. You got 59 days to get fit. You got 58 days to get fit. Like eventually that day is going to come, right? And you want to be ready for that day. It is much easier to stay motivated for 60 days than it is to stay motivated for an indefinite amount of days. So when I was in Canada, I was visiting family and I knew I was coming back to the States in 4 months. And I was away from my friends. I wasn't appearing that much on streams or content. So I knew, okay, I have 4 months. I can make progress. It won't be amazing progress because 4 months isn't that much time and you're not going to kill yourself. 4 months is doable. So for the 4 months I was away, I ate a lot less carbs. When it comes to food, my number one recommendation is to eat less carbs and less sugar and less processed food. If you like Coke, drink Diet Coke or Coke Zero. Now I know there's a lot of chemicals in that stuff. I would say just not drink it at all if you could, but those habits are hard to beat. Less carbs means less rice, potatoes, less bread, less noodles, less pasta. So the staple foods. I try and eat as little as those as possible because I like meat. I like vegetables. And I also like carbs. I like rice, stereotype aside. That doesn't mean to completely cut it. What I started doing is I would receive, say like a burger. So maybe there's something you guys can do. You get a burger and I take top bun and I throw it boop, right into the trash. Just like that, I cut my carbs in half. I order Chinese food, bowl of rice, boop, half into the trash. I really try and avoid pasta or spaghetti because as much as I love them, pasta is very heavy. Food waste, sometimes, I mean, you can save it for a next meal. I would say it is better to waste food than to eat food that you don't want to eat or you don't have to eat. Children are conditioned with this idea like you must finish eating everything on your plate. But that kind of thinking, I believe, causes overeating from a young age. You can save it, give it to others. Let's say you have only 2 options. You either have to eat it or you have to throw it away and you're feeling kind of full already. I would say throw it away. Title, This Guy's Toast Waste Food, Hates Children in Africa. Save it for later if you don't want to waste food. Order less food. Make less food. That's what I did at the very beginning. I don't recommend doing anything too drastic. When people try and go on these diet goals, I'm only eating lettuce. I'm only eating boiled chicken. Guess what? You're gonna be miserable. If you're miserable, you're gonna quit. No one can survive on lettuce and boiled chicken. And you're gonna relapse and you're gonna say, fuck my diet. I don't care what I look like. Do what will keep you motivated. If you're hungry at night and you want a bite of brownie, take that bite of brownie. Because if you don't take that bite of brownie and you get angry and resentful, you're gonna order McDonald's and you're gonna stuff your face full of bad food and you're gonna be like, I should have done that. Do whatever you have to do to keep you on track, even if it means eating unhealthy every now and then to preserve your own mental. So 2 very easy things I did was no sugar and half all my carbs. And you're just gonna save a lot of calories just like that. Also, no sauces. Because sauce is very sugar heavy and it's like very calorie dense. Butter, oil, sugar. And it doesn't feel like you're eating anything, right? That's the problem with sauce. It almost feels like, oh, it's just flavoring. Like, ooh, a little extra flavor. It's like, that sauce is like 50% of the calories you're gonna be eating. Sauce is great, like pasta sauce, marinara sauce, but it's actually pretty high in calories. You can go for diet, like vinaigrette, diet Caesar dressing. I use Tabasco, which has no calories. I don't mean like no sauce of any kind. Sauce without a lot of calories. Yeah, I like it so much I have it on my desk. What about ketchup? Ketchup has a lot of sugar. If you're talking about like McDonald's ketchup, so do not recommend ketchup. So those are the changes I made to my diet. It's nothing drastic. Obviously, the less you eat, the more weight you lose. The more you eat, the more weight you'll gain. Getting healthier doesn't mean just losing weight. Sometimes it's gaining weight. If you're under like a healthy amount, I do recommend you gain weight to reach that healthy amount. Because I also have friends who struggle with gaining weight and they're like super thin and they want to gain weight. But I have no expertise on that front. Like there's online calculators that tell you how much you should weigh for your height and your age and try and reach that goal. So that was my food change. Next up is workout routine. A lot of people ask, hey Toast, do you work out? Do you lift, bro? Do you do cardio? And when I first started my journey to be healthier, I did exercise, and I recommend everyone exercise if you could. It's just good for your mental, good for your health. I didn't get a gym membership. Like I had one, but I didn't like going out to the gym because it's like, I gotta go 10 minutes, I gotta walk 10 minutes, I gotta drive 20 minutes. By the time I'm there, I'm tired and it's like gonna eat up a whole hour. So I got a yoga mat and I got a dumbbell and I just exercised in my closet and ran around the block. I did push-ups, bicep curls. If you want specific exercises, you can always Google like on YouTube home exercises. But as long as you're breathing harder and you're like exerting force, like push-up or like a pull-up. If you're at the gym and you do a bicep curl or you do dips on a chair at your home, you just do something. I know that sounds easy, lol, just do something, but it's all good things. Like even if you work out for 10 minutes, that beats not working out for 10 minutes. When you gain more muscle, you burn more calories because muscle needs calories to maintain. So now you can eat a little more, or if you're not eating that much, it will burn a little more calories. Exercising isn't to just immediately make you stronger or like look better. It also burns more calories, and also you look better. There's a reason why girls love Thor or Captain America or those K-pop boys. Why do you think they lift up their shirt during performances? These are just the physical benefits. I don't look like that, by the way. I got a single keg. I don't have six-pack. Not a secret that a lot of girls prefer muscles on their guys. I know there are girls that prefer like the skinny gaunt look, the Joker Jared Leto look, and that's totally fine. Doesn't mean you have to go straight into the gym going like every single day for the next year, but you should try and figure out like what's your goal body. If you're just doing this to lose weight, if you're just doing this for health, if you're just doing it to gain muscles and gain weight, that's okay. What worked for me was just I want to be in Shang-Chi 2, the movie, a superhero, so I need to start exercising more. I don't go every day. I go like once every 2 days. Don't kill yourself going every day or trying to keep a unmaintainable streak going. Just go whenever you can. Life gets busy. Sometimes you're just feeling sad and you're not up for it. But when you can, go to the gym or just pick up a dumbbell in your room. Dedicate like 1 hour. Most important thing throughout all of this is just do what will keep you motivated. Well, if you have no motivation, if you have no motivation, then you're not going to do any of this. If you're going to say, yeah, I don't really feel like eating healthier. I don't really feel like exercising. I don't feel like putting an effort in. Then don't do it. And you're going to probably stay the same. And if you're okay with that, that's okay too. But don't complain like, oh, I wish I lived healthier when you make no effort into doing it. Also, I'm the kind of guy that does not like talking about my lifestyle stuff if I'm working towards it, because when I talk about I'm gonna go to the gym every day, after I say it, I have less motivation to do it. What is way more cool is to do all these things without saying it, and then ideally get to a point where people will say it for you. Like at the beginning of this year, I didn't say I'm gonna try and look healthier, I'm gonna look better, I'm gonna up my fashion sense. It's just something I did, that I put effort into behind the scenes, and I hope that my efforts eventually show to a point where other people will say it, right? Like I actually worked out in secret. I got really annoyed like when my dad would walk into my room as I'm exercising and he would say, oh, are you trying to lose weight? I'm like, get out, dad. That's another way to motivate yourself. It's like you want to surprise people. What else is different about me? Fashion. So my hair is definitely different from 1 year ago, in the sense that I actually have hair now. I remember when I shaved my head like this, I thought to myself, all right, Toast, this is it. Probably as bad as you're gonna look for a long, long time. So if there was a time to actually like start your journey of glow up, now would be the time. A lot of people ask, hey Toast, how do you do your hair? Well, I've tried slicking it back. I tried getting an undercut, which is like pretty popular, but I actually didn't love it. It didn't look natural on me because I have a lot of hair in the front. So it's actually really hard for me to slick it back. Camera, stop unfocusing. What's wrong with you? It's more of the cool look, like edgy look, but I didn't do it right. But I did try it. I went to the barber, I said, give me an undercut. And I came out looking like this. I'm like, it is a style, but it wasn't my style. It's a lot of work to maintain. I don't like having hairstyle where in order for it to look good, I need to do stuff to it because I just don't have the time for that. So then recently, I decided to get a perm. Yes, I permed it. It's really popular with the kids, the Zoomers these days, but they go extra curly. You guys seen this. This is the fuckboy all over Zoomer TikTok. I don't know if I would look good in this. I doubt it. I'm sure it works for other guys, but I saw this and I'm like, there's no way this works on me. So I decided to go for a more Asian perm. So I did something called a Korean perm, a Korean wave perm, where it's just a slight curl to it. Like when you look at my hair, there's no products. I wake up like this. Normally I have really straight hair, right? But now if you look at my hair, there's a slight wave to it, which is essentially like a substitute for actually putting product in your hair. It gives it some texture and it makes my life easier. So I recommend everyone to just Google like a hairstyle you're interested in. Like if you ever come across a dude with a cool hairstyle, you should say, hey, Mr. Barber, can I get that? And perms aren't that common yet with guys, because like when you hear perm, it's like, oh, that's a girl thing. Like girls get perm, men doesn't get perm. But society is evolving and it is more accepted for men to like do more fashion stuff, right? I could get it dyed. I don't like dyeing my hair because this is not a dig at anyone who has dyed hair. I think I like keeping my style more minimalist, and dyed hair is a little too much. But it will work for some people. Like different people, different, what's the saying? Nothing wrong with dyed hair. I personally didn't go for it because I'm already perming my hair. If I dye it and change my fashion, and I get earrings, like, oh my God, Toast, are you going through a midlife crisis kind of deal? So I do want to hold back on some fronts. Different folks, different strokes. There it is. I'm not using fancy shampoo. I'm not drying it in a special way. I'm not moisturizing it. I'm not putting gel in it or mousse in it. I wake up like this. I also got earrings. I got it at the start of the year, right when I moved to Canada, because again, I wanted to do a lot of these things in secret. Earrings are a little harder to pull off, and that's why I don't do anything too extravagant. Like even the danglingness is a lot for some people. So on my right ear, I just have a little stud. On my left ear, I go a little edgier with a hoop and a knife. Don't just get earrings because it's like, oh, I'm gonna look like a badass and super edgy. Like I'm sure people here have seen individual with earrings and it's just, that's not working, honey. Tattoos, I didn't get tattoos. I used temporary tattoos just to like see what it looks like, and it's kind of cool. I want to get like some simple ones down the line. Skincare. Men, you gotta take care of your skin. Growing up, I had a lot of skin problems. I still do. You guys just can't see it because I have a bit of makeup on, and I've tried to take care of my skin a little more. I mean, if you have perfect skin already and it's looks silky smooth and you're very happy with it, keep doing what you're doing. Don't change it up. But if you're not happy with it, if you're breaking out very commonly and there's like a lot of bad stuff going on, some imperfections, some blemishes, you can see a dermatologist, which is very anxiety inducing. Like I have never seen a dermatologist once in my entire life. It gives me anxiety to be so vulnerable about my insecurities, even though it's that doctor's job. Even that the idea of it's like, oh God, no, I'm too embarrassed. Don't look at me. Don't get a microscope and like zoom in on my acne, man. I can't take it. It's too embarrassing. What I did was I just tried a bunch of different products. But the bare minimum all of you should have, guy or girl, is a cleanser. Stuff gets in your face throughout the day. You should clean it once a day or twice a day, depending on how oily it is or how strong it is. Do you wash with soap before the routine? No. No, don't use hand soap. Please don't use body soap. Especially not like the block of soap that you use on your body and go like this. Don't do that. They have a lot of like scent. The majority of them are not designed for facial care. Some are. Most of them are not. If what you're doing works for you, you don't have to change anything, but it's very harsh and I don't recommend just grabbing a bar of soap and go like, yeah. Or like, yeah. Because that shit is like thick. I've tried a variety of cleansers in my life. You want the very simple ones. Cetaphil cleanser is very popular for a light, cheap, no nonsense, I'm just gonna clean your face kind of deal. Not all cleansers gonna work for everybody, but you should just try out a whole bunch of different things. So Rave is another one that I've tried in the past. This one's a foaming one, so a little more bubbly. Try that one out before you go to bed or you wake up in the morning. The second most important thing I would say is a moisturizer. A lot of people don't like to moisturize, and I was one of those people because it's like it almost feels like you're putting oil or butter on your face. But it is very important to moisturize your face because if you don't moisturize it, it dries up. Or sometimes your skin will try and like overcompensate for the dryness. It's like, oh my god, it's so dry on this guy's face. Make oil. And then when it makes a lot of oil, it clogs your pores, which isn't good. Maybe you use a sunscreen with moisturizer, whatever you do. What's the problem with dry skin? So if you have dry, flaky skin, and I do sometimes when I use my cleanser, I have like dead skin cells all drop off, right? You know where they go? Into my pores with the oil. And then I have dry skin, I have clogged pores, and then it turns into a pimple. So definitely look into moisturizing your face every day. How do you apply it? First, you wash your face, then you use your cleanser. Gently, when it comes to cleanser, use it gently. What I like to do is I cleanse with my pinky finger, and I just I'm almost barely touching my face with it because you don't want to irritate it by going like, oh yeah, get that gunk out, wash that face. And when I apply moisturizer, same thing, very gently. There are like exfoliants and like things you put in between, but that is more case by case, and I am definitely not the person to ask about that. I would suggest you Google it. Well, if you don't get acne, like I said, if your skin is flawless already, I wouldn't do anything that might risk that. That's my skincare routine. It's not very in-depth. There are much better resources out there for like full-on skincare. So do you use sunscreen? I know sunscreen is really important. I'll be honest, I don't use it because I don't go out a lot. But sunscreen is extremely important because all that rays is gonna fuck up your skin and like give you like wrinkles really early on. I just don't go out. But if you're going out and the sun's gonna be blasting your face, put on sunscreen. None of what I do is perfect. I don't work out perfectly. I don't diet perfectly. I don't skincare perfectly. I don't do hair perfectly, but I do make an effort in each of these categories in a way that makes me keep doing them. Because if I have to spend an hour on my skincare every day, if I have to put on sunscreen every day, my serum every day, if I have to like floss my teeth every day, guess what? I'm not gonna do it. You don't floss? Bro, I never floss. And my dentist always makes a comment about it. I just brush my teeth and I let my dentist complain every 6 months. Do I want to talk about makeup? Oh god, makeup. And guys, I do a tiny bit of makeup because I'm a content creator. I'm gonna be in front of the camera and no one wants to see my big red T-zone. That's not gonna do anyone any favors. But makeup makes some guys feel more secure in their appearance. Because when I had a lot of acne, I'm talking to someone, I wouldn't make eye contact. It's like, I don't want to look at you looking at my face. I know I have a pimple there. There is still a social stigma with guys wearing makeup. I don't think there should be. It's definitely seen as a more feminine thing. As a guy, you can just do something very light, very chill. If you don't want to be like eyeshadow, mascara, blush kind of deal. It's called foundation, right? Maybe there's some girls in chat that can correct me. Concealer or foundation? It's foundation, right? Big spoiler alert, everyone. Every guy you see on the TV or in the movies are wearing makeup. Your favorite boy band, they're wearing makeup. You're a talk show host, they're wearing makeup. Your esports hero, when they're playing on the big screen, you know what Riot does? They bring in a makeup artist. You know what Blizzard does? They bring in a makeup artist. How do I know this? Because I've done events for both of them. For the players, for the casters, for the streamers. BTS, beautiful guys, handsome guys. When they perform, they're wearing makeup. Chris Evans. Going to the Golden Globes, guess what? They're wearing makeup. So don't compare the way you look to all these guys on the big screen because you think, oh, guys don't wear makeup, so this is just how they naturally look. No, they're all wearing makeup. The trick with guys is you want to do the minimal so that it doesn't look like you're wearing makeup. Because guys aren't supposed to wear makeup, right? But guys do. If you don't want to get too fancy with it, men can wear foundation, which is essentially making your skin tone, like skin, an evenish color. Like this guy, right? He's not doing mascara. I think he did his eyebrows here. He's not putting on eyeshadow. He's just reducing redness and like pimple on like small scars, minor blemishes. It's more even, a more consistent color. And it's not strong enough or like out there enough to be like, oh wow, you're wearing makeup right now? Like people won't really notice it. There's nothing wrong with a little makeup if it makes you more secure, more confident. Let me show you guys what I use. I hope you guys don't think any less of me. It's like, oh my god, toast doesn't naturally look like that. I recently started using this like a week ago, like a month ago, sorry. Foundation comes in liquid form or powder form. You know, let me grab both of it. What am I doing with my life? This is a liquid foundation. Maybe I'll do a full video one day. I actually don't do that much. So you just find a foundation that matches your skin color. This is from the brand NARS, but there are multiple good brands. You just need a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. Let me get my beauty blender. To apply makeup, you could just go like bonk, 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 bonk. I don't recommend that. I have this thing, a lot of people use this. It's called a beauty blender. You wet it and you just a tiny bit. You just need a tiny bit and you just put it on your face. This is how I normally do this, like, cause I would do this in my bathroom and I would have like a cleaner face, but you just go like, etc, 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 etc. If you don't know what your skin tone is, you could trial and error by buying a bunch. I don't recommend that. I recommend just going to Sephora and asking. This is gonna be hard if you're a guy. It's gonna be embarrassing for you, but trust me, they don't give a shit. That's what I had to do. You just go into the store and you say, hey, what's a foundation that matches my skin color? And she will help you. She will be like, oh, you're more of a this shade or this shade, and they'll try it on. It's like, okay, let's try this, let's try this. They're doing their job. Don't feel embarrassed. If you're an introvert, suck it up. This is good practice. You're not asking them out on a date. You're not asking them to do anything. You're asking them to do their goddamn job. It's like telling the Subway sandwich maker, hey, can I get some lettuce on my Subway? You know what they think about? They think about the lunch break. They think about when I get off work. They think about that guy, you know, they're texting. They're not gonna care. You're not that important. So if you just go in there and say, hey, can I get some help finding the right shade? They're gonna be like, sure, that's my job. That is a liquid foundation. I've been trying powder foundation, which is even more simpler. You just get a brush. You can ask them, hey, can I get a larger foundation brush? So it comes in this, right? It's preference. They do give a different look a little bit. Sometimes I like liquid, sometimes I like powder. Powder I like because it is, for me, easier to put on. Because with liquid, you gotta like make sure it's all blended into your skin. And sometimes like if you don't do it properly, there are patches on your skin that's definitely lighter than the other parts. With powder, you just go like, you're essentially just throwing colored powder on your face. I would say it's not as good as like making your entire skin a more consistent skin tone, but I've been liking it because it's just way easier to put on, and it doesn't give you that shininess you might get with liquid, because if it's powder, it's gonna absorb like a little bit of shininess on your face. More natural looking, in my opinion, and that's the goal for most guys. You can just stop there if you want, right? And most guys would prefer to stop there because they're like, oh, I don't want to do the other stuff. I don't do my eyebrows. Like some guys love doing their eyebrows, and some guys have even gotten microblading, which is essentially like eyebrow tattoo, but eyebrows goes a long way. I have a couple of pictures where someone did do my eyebrows. I personally don't have the time to put on eyebrows every single day. So what I do instead is brush, powder foundation, paint the face, and that's it. Every day on stream or just going out. I've been using powder foundation each stream and each shoot. But if I'm just around the house, I don't put it on because they know what I look like. What do you do for your lips? Nothing. I know I can use lip balm. I know there's like products out there, but there are so much more things. I know all of this because when I go through like professional shoots or big broadcast, that's what they do on me. When I went to the Arcane shoot, maybe I can show a picture of Arcane. I'm wearing makeup in this one because Riot sent over makeup artists from Fenty. They did a collab. I think it's relatively obvious I'm wearing makeup in this one because it's so fucking smooth, right? They use a different color for my eyes and they put some kind of balm on my lips. They use setting spray so that my makeup stays. They did like 6 different things, which for me is too much for a day-to-day. I'm not gonna do this every day. And I think I look very obvious I'm wearing makeup, and I don't like that. Does it feel heavy on your face? No, not the powder foundation. Yeah, it's also like what it feels like. Liquid foundation, sometimes I can feel it, but powder foundation is just like powder. Boom. Nail polish, I don't do it. I mean, if you want to do it, like even rings, I'm kind of like, ooh, this is a little edgelord. Because I'm not going for the gothic e-boy look. I just like picking things here and there that I like. When it comes to fashion, unfortunately, a lot of my cool clothes are gift. Balenciaga sweater, gift. Necklace, gift. My Burberry cardigan, gift. I don't know too much about fashion. An easy way to look good is wear like a lot of black. I don't wear a lot of colorful stuff. Do you remove makeup using makeup remover? I just use my cleanser because it has makeup removing properties. Remove your makeup before bed. I know you're fucking lazy. Trust me, I'm lazy too. Sometimes after a long day, I don't want to wash my face. But if you did put on makeup that day, make sure you wash it off. Because if it's left on your face, guess where it's gonna go? Into your pores. And then you get a pimple, and then you're like, oh god, I wish I just washed my makeup off. Wash your face. There are makeup wipes. I don't use them, but there are like wipes designed to wipe off makeups. Do you use perfume? No. I mean, when it comes to cologne, just get something subtle but distinct and don't spray it. I assume you shower on a regular basis. Toast, do you touch your face a lot? No, never touch your face unless you're washing it. Don't do it, because your hands touch everything every day. Keyboards, mouse, walls, doors, door handles, toilets. Don't touch your face with your dirty ass hands. So that's all the things I did over the last year to have a quote unquote glow up. It's a journey, you know, it's not done yet. I haven't exercised in the last month, and I'm not too like scared or like, oh my god, I need to go back to the gym ASAP. I haven't been feeling it. I've been focusing more on work, so that's okay, right? Try not to hold yourself to too high of a standard, because you're just gonna feel guilty and relapse if that's the case. And 2022 is coming up, so hopefully there's something you learned from this video that you can take away to help you on that journey. Even if it's one small thing, that would make me very happy. Thanks for watching. Why don't you guys leave in the comments what's one thing you're gonna work on, and hopefully we can revisit this in 1 year and you guys can tell me the good news and your progress. Thanks guys, good luck, bye bye.